Hello everyone, my name is Celi and welcome to my channel Celi's Craftorium. Today I'm going to make a spooky and magical Halloween craft, a haunted ghost jar. Inside this jar there are going to be 3 little ghosts, like a family sort of ghosts, some jack-o'-lantern pumpkins, some skulls and moss in the ground for decoration, and maybe some bats flying around. Hopefully by the end this will turn out like a haunted little tiny cute scene that you can display everywhere. So yeah, let's get to it. To start off, I'm cutting pieces of cloth in different sizes, one for a tall ghost, one a little shorter, and one small one too, like a ghost child. It's going to be a whole little spooky family. It's okay if it looks a little messy, that's part of the charm. Next, I make the ghost heads out of simple aluminum foil, just scrambling into a ball. Nothing fancy, but make sure it's firm enough to hold its shape. Then I take some wire and create a straight base, like a lollipop stick, and bend it around the foil ball to hold the head in place. That's our ghost skeleton done. Once I'm happy with the size and shape of each ghost, I prepare the magic potion. Well, actually it's just white glue mixed with water, but let's pretend it's a potion. I dip the cloth into the mixture until it's completely soaked. This will make the fabric stiff when it dries, so our ghosts can keep their flowy, spooky shapes. I carefully place the wet cloth over the foil head and arrange it so it drapes naturally, like a real floating ghost. This is the fun part because each ghost gets its own little personality depending on how the fabric folds. Finally, I pinned the wire bases into foam board to hold them upright and let them dry. And now we wait. While the ghosts are drying overnight, I get to work on some spooky decorations, pumpkins. I shape little pumpkins out of clay in different sizes because no haunted scene is complete without a pumpkin patch. When I'm happy with the basic shape of the pumpkin, I add extra texture with the sculpting tool. The next day, my ghosts are ready for their final touches. I cut the wire so each ghost fits inside the jar. Since I want to add more texture, I paint them with white acrylic paint. Once all the pumpkins are dry, I paint them in warm orange shades. Next, I prepare the ground inside the jar. For this I mix salt, water and brown acrylic paint, creating a muddy, earthy texture. I pour it carefully inside the jar and leave it to dry overnight. I accidentally added too much water at first, but I fixed it by pressing a tissue on top to soak up the extra. Crisis averted. I use grey acrylic around the bottom of the cloth to make them look a little bit dirtier, like they have been floating around the graveyard for some time. I make bases out of clay for the ghosts so they can stand on their own. After shaping the bases, I'll let them dry completely. I wanted them to feel even more haunted, like they'd been lingering there for centuries, so I went back in with a darker grey. That extra layer made them look older, spookier, and much more in character with the whole scene. When the bases are dry, I paint them with the same dark brown color that I used for the ground of the jar. When the paint has dried, I cover the bases with moss to help them blend better into the environment. I also add moss directly inside the jar to cover the floor and blend everything together. Now it is time to bring the ghost family home. I glue the smallest ghost to the middle one so they can stand better together, and then I place them inside the jar. Finally, I add the tallest ghost in the back to complete the little family. Around them, I scatter the pumpkins I made earlier, and suddenly the whole inside of the jar comes to life. Or afterlife. For the lid, I painted it dark brown and let it dry. While I wait, I made a stand for the jar using foam board. I trace a circle using the jar for the top and then a bigger one with the bowl for the base. On top of the lid, I glue one of the pumpkins as a handle, like a little spooky crown for the jar. By mistake, I first painted the two bases dark brown and then I had to wait for them to dry. You can actually glue them first and then paint them. Since I wanted the scene to look like a spooky haunted forest, when the bases are totally dry, I glue some branches around. I also add moss to make the exterior look like the inside ground of the jar. Before closing the jar, I add a rustic touch by wrapping twine around the base of the lid and securing it with hot glue. The skulls are a nice addition, but I want them to look like they have been there for a long time, so I paint them just a little bit to make them look older. Finally, I place the jar on its base and the scene is complete. A costly family in their haunted pumpkin patch. And just like that, the Ghost family found their forever home, floating happily inside their haunted jar, surrounded by pumpkins, moss, and spooky forest. A little reminder that even in the afterlife, family always sticks together. Thank you so much for joining me in today's craft, and until next time, may your glue guns stay hot and your nights stay spooky. Inside the jar, we're going to have some... Inside the jar, I'm going some jack-o'-lantern pumpkins.